Hi, Faith Formation families. To our second grade families who are getting ready to make their first reconciliation, I just wanted to do this little video for you. We have a few slight changes for reconciliation this year. The first one being any of you who will be making your first reconciliation on Monday, a Tuesday, or Thursday, this time you will be making your first reconciliation here in our Children's Liturgy of the Word room, aka the altar server sacristy. We have it set up as a confessional, partly because we realize there are activities going on in church on those evenings when you've signed up, and it really would not be polite or respectful to be walking in and out of the back of church while other activities are going on in there. So again, that's Mondays, Tuesday, or Thursday first confessions will be happening here in the Children's Liturgy room. You'll notice on the wall I have a list for each night of the families, their times. So if you have any question, you can call me. I'll double check with you, but at least you'll know there's other families here either before you or after you. You'll also notice on the table that there is a bag. Each bag has your child's name, and in the bag is 2 books. The first book is the completed First Reconciliation book. The second one is the new one, the First Communion book, and it'll have the child's name, and underneath it it'll say due 3/28. So this book, the communion book, will be due on March 28th. So that's just a reminder for you. I also have in there is this little activity book. We normally give this out when the children are participating in an in-person retreat. We really didn't have a time for me to give it to you before this first reconciliation. However, it's just a little activity each day they can do as they're getting ready to prepare for the sacrament. But because you're receiving it when they make their first sacrament, I would encourage you parents to hang on to this. And in Lent this year, maybe bring your child for their second confession. But because they'll be making their first Holy Communion the end of April, beginning of May, it would be really nice for them to experience this sacrament once again. And this is just a little way to kind of get them excited and into it, anticipating what's going to happen again for their second confession. So again, this is not to be turned in. This is not anything you have to do. It's just something you might want to let your child do. One last thing to draw your attention to while we're out here is every child will have a candle with their name on it, and you'll see them laying here on the table. There's also tape, and if you would kindly just get a roll of tape and put it on the back of the candle, and then have your child place the candle somewhere on this board around the picture of Jesus, who is the light of the world. They now are like a candle giving light to others because their hearts are clean. And so again, we put this here every year to remind the parish that our young families, the children, have made this sacrament. And it's also just a great way for them to kind of see that they're part of a larger group. So please make sure before you leave that your child takes their candle with their name on it and puts it on our board. So if you'll come follow me, please, I'd like to show you what the confession room will look like. One thing I will say as well, the door is open. It should be open when your family gets here for confession. So parents, after your child walks into the confessional room, would you kindly make sure the door is closed for them? And then as they leave, if there's no one else in the family, if you've gone to confession or if you've decided you're not going to confession, would you please make sure that this door is left open? That way, the next family that comes knows that it's time they can come right in and go to confession. If the door is closed, obviously, they'll need to keep the privacy for the person that's in there. So please make sure this door is closed when your child's in there or you're in there, and it's open as you leave the building. Thanks. So as you'll see, this is where your child will walk in and kneel down. The act of contrition prayer is there for them if they need that. But this is to replicate in the regular confessional not being seen. So instead of a screen, they're just now in this area where they cannot see Father. So they just kneel down and they start their confession. Any child that would like to do confession face-to-face, come on in the room, walk around the screen this way, and you will see there is a chair for them to sit. And Monsignor is over on the, again, across from them. As soon as they come in and sit down, then confession will begin. For these children also, there is an act of contrition prayer if they would need it on the little chair beside them. And they can just reach down and get that. When they're finished, they just get up and they head out of the confessional, and that will be the end of it. So parents, at any point, if you have any questions, please feel free to text me or call. And just a reminder, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday confessions will be in this setting. Saturday confessions, just as you would normally do and probably as you practice, go into the church and sit in front of the confessional. Monsignor will take your child as it's their turn. But everything on the table will be the same. Even on Saturday, make sure you take your packet and your child puts their candle on the board. They're just going to go into the regular confessionals, which are inside the church. All right, thank you very much. Have a blessed day.